Well, less than a decade ago, the gentleman joining us on the news at noon today, Peng Joon, was terrified to speak in public. Today, though, he's an internationally renowned speaker who's made more than 200 public speeches in more than 20 countries. First of all, thank you for joining us today on the news at noon. And just a quick question that maybe you know. I've seen some studies that show public speaking is the worst fear in America. It's above heights. It's above drowning. Why is that the case?
It's above fear. I mean, like sometimes people think, if you really think about it, it means that if fear of speaking is number one and death is number two, it means that an average person who goes to a funeral is actually better off in the casket.
In the casket.
Right? than delivering the eulogy. So to me, that's crazy. And I think that the fear really comes from its false evidence appearing real, right? It's people thinking, what if I say something wrong? What if I look stupid? What if somebody throws an egg at me? What if I trip? And it's not real. And the reason why people have that fear is because the focus is on themselves.
You're one of those people though, right?
My entire life, I've been this shy, introverted kid, and I never thought I'd be able to be doing what I'm doing today. And what I realized is speaking is actually a learnable, trainable skill.
And you've shown that. I mean, you have followers on Facebook, what, to the tune of like 2 million.
Over 2 million. Yeah.
You've written 2 books on public speaking.
Yes.
So how did you go from somebody who was afraid to speak out loud in public to writing 2 books and having all of these seminars?
So one of the things I've always wanted to do is to share my passion, marketing online, sales, but I didn't know how to do it. I knew that in order to change more lives, I had to get out there and do it instead of doing it one-on-one, I had to do it one-to-many. So one of the things I thought to myself, like, what if I actually tried practicing and doing it online, just through like a simple sales video or a webinar.
Okay.
And I realized that, hey, I was terrible at it at first, but with enough practice, I realized I became slightly better and better and better. And I realized, what if I took what I did online, and I took it to the public, in person, workshops, seminars. And my first event, small group, 50 people.
Okay. Started
doing it, then scaled it up, 100 people. I've done today our biggest audience, 7,000 people.
Wow.
And I realized it's just practice.
It's just practice, that's what it is. So what about that old adage of, well, just picture everybody in their underwear? Does that even apply? Does that even something that you even started doing?
Well, I think that the most important thing is actually the connection.
Okay.
So it's actually, rather than imagining them naked, it's looking at them in the eye, connecting with them, being
As if you're
present.
speaking to one person?
Yes.
Okay.
If you touch one person, you touch everybody. So so even if you have the fear, connect to one person, you're connecting to everybody.
What are some other tips you have, other than the connection part? What do you tell people and how to get over this fear?
So if you're starting out, memorize the context rather than the content. I think what many people try to do is they have this entire script out and they try to memorize every single word. And when that happens, what's going to happen is that the moment you slip, which is bound to happen, you have this awkward silence, and it's going to be horrible. So think about the context. What are the 5 things, the 7 steps? What is the framework, the big picture, the bullet points? And you're going to realize the content will come to you.
One of the things we have on our screen here, tips to become a better speaker. Normal is boring. Explain that.
Well, here's the thing. Most people, they want to play it safe. So they start off with some neutral message to try to please everybody, when in fact, normal is boring. Nobody wants to listen to the same content that's delivered over and over and over again. So think about, how can you be different? You could show your crazy side, your weird side, your eccentric side, but that's what people want to see.
Don't be afraid to take a chance.
That's right.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm sorry, we're all out of time. We could talk about this for another 2 hours if we had
100%.
to. I know. Well, thank you very much, Peng Joon, for coming in and explaining all this to us. And you have some seminars or some meetings you're going to in town, which is why you're here. But if you want to learn more about your techniques, where should people find you?
Just go to platformclosing.com. It's a free book. You just need to cover shipping. I talk about how do you get your message out there, monetize it, get more income, as well as impact by sharing your voice.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And we'll be right back with more of the news at noon right after this.